The Galilee collage there. Tap into my channel, that's where you wanna be. 87 Monte Carlo, West has name girls. I bet when I punch the gas, all you see is white smoke. And you know we do it big Texas, so we going 100 spokes like we on West Coast. Mexican leave garage therapy, come get with me, come get with me.
All right, so last night I wasn't able to install the new screen on the new pump because I wasn't thinking. I did read the description when I ordered the parts, but I wasn't thinking ahead of time. But the smaller installation tool for the pump screen, the pickup tube, won't work. It was way too small, and I didn't realize that I had this one for the small block Chevys, the older styles. So I didn't know that the newer style had that fatter one, which I did because I ordered it, but I didn't think I needed another tool. So I did buy another one, the Melling MCA T-75. This one is bigger. It's got the bigger hole. So that will fit around that perfectly. See, now this one I couldn't even tighten the bolts around because the hole's too small in there. So now that I have the new tool, let's go ahead and get this new screen installed on the new pump, and then that way we can get this thing installed on a block and torqued down.
Mexican leaf therapy on wheels, gold teeth glisten, truth it reveals, cowboy hat tilted.
All right, y'all, here we go. So we got the pump screen on. What I did was, when I put the new oil pump on, I set it up here in the position where it's gonna go. Put the bolt on it, kind of snugged it. I didn't put it tight. I didn't torque it all the way down. And then I put a glob, probably about 1/4 of an inch thick of grease right here. Put the oil pan on without the gasket. It barely touched. So I knocked it down maybe about 1/4 of an inch and then tack welded the screen in place. So it's not exact to it's probably about a 1/16 off on the original pump screen, but this is gonna be perfect. It ain't too much or too less. So now we got the new bolt. We're gonna put a little bit of oil on the threads before we install it and torque it down. Then I also have the Summit little copper gasket. That's part number, what is it, SUM, hold on. They put a staple over it, but I believe it's SUM 111480, the oil pump gasket. And like I said, man, I never used these gaskets before. This is gonna be the first time, but hey, it's first time for everything. I know they say the machined surface is good enough, but when I took this oil pump off, whoever built this block had a gasket in there, but I can't find that specific gasket. So this is close enough. So this is what we're gonna use. And like I said, the screen isn't 100% measured out to that one there. I got it as close as I could with the oil pan being on, so I believe I'm in a good position for that. This, they say you have to put in the correct angle or position because it has to make sure you have that bypass hole opened up. You don't want to cover that at all. I know I've seen some reviews saying where people had to open that up a little bit, but in my case it doesn't look like I have to. Let me turn it around just in case, see what other way it may go on, but I think it only goes on one way. Well, no, you can go in the opposite direction, but it's way off that way. So the way I'm putting it on, this bigger hole on this end is going to go towards the oil pump side or the oil filter side. Okay, so let's press that on there. Doesn't take much to get it in place. It's an odd hole right there, but I don't know how much of that's going to sit on the other side. Kind of what I'm a little bit worried about. And what I'm looking at is the surface of where that gasket goes right here on this side, where the oil goes through. That gasket is barely touching down here, but I don't think that's going to be an issue. Let me test it out on this. So this little section right here, this cutout right here is what I'm talking about. As far as putting it on the block, you have that extra hole on this side for the oil passage. Now, the way it's going to sit on the block, what I'm looking at is this right here where the cutout is on the block. There's a little bit more metal coming down this way, right? So when I line it up with these holes, it lines right up with this gasket. It seals up perfectly fine. So I believe once I get it on there and torque it down, she's going to be perfect. It'll seal up just perfect. So let's get that back on there. Let me see where the other gasket's set. Oh yeah, in relation to this one. Man, that's just a sliver of where it's going to cover that. I'm not sure if I want to really use this thing. I hate to go back through and peel this thing back off. Not only that, these little tabs right here kind of get close to the crank. So, I don't know, man. I don't think I'm going to use it. On my other engine, I didn't put one on. So, whether I use it or don't, I think I'd be better off not using it. But let me keep looking. Yeah, I don't think I'm gonna use it. It was only $6-7. We're not gonna use it. I'm not gonna take that chance, man. I'm not gonna put that shaft on yet. Let me grab it real quick. The way this oil pump shaft, the new shaft, the way that sits on there, I don't think she snaps in place, but let's check real quick. I think it just sets on there, but I could be wrong. Yeah, see, it doesn't click, it doesn't snap in place. So what I'm gonna do, I'm not gonna put it on and then put the oil pump on because it's gonna fall right out. So we'll put that on when we turn the block around. It only goes on one direction, one way, so no big deal on that. Now the bolt for the oil pump gets torqued down to 65 foot-pounds. So let me get a little bit of oil on this bolt, on the threads. Some fresh oil. It don't take much, just a little bit. I didn't have to mess with these pins at all. Sometimes you may have to kind of mess with these pins just a little. Mine were perfectly fine. And what I mean by mess with them is sometimes they may not line up with your new pump. So you may have to kind of tap on them just a little bit. I don't even think I grabbed the right size socket for that. No, I sure didn't. Let me go get a socket, guys. Give me a quick second. So let's set this torque wrench 65 foot-pounds. Says you can go 60 to 70, so we're gonna go 65. Hope this torque wrench is calibrated correctly. I need to go get them all calibrated. These aren't no expensive ass, like I told y'all before, I don't have no expensive ass tools, man. I wonder if I should put a little bit of Loctite on that. I don't think I should because of that bearing. I've never done it before, so I don't think we'll have an issue. There you go, 65 foot-pounds. I always like turning this just to make sure I don't feel anything binding up. A lot of times you'll get a bolt that may be a little too long. That's why I don't like buying aftermarket shit. You always want to make sure, I always try to, more or less myself, go with the factory bolts, factory specs. So, yeah, man, we're good. So oil pump and oil screen is installed. Like I said, I did put a little small tack weld on it. So that's it, y'all. We are going to go ahead and put this the windage tray back on, and the torque for those bolts (25 foot-pounds). So we can go ahead and do that right now. I did degrease all this stuff the other day, but I got a couple spots on my oil pan that I need to quick hit. That ain't no big deal, so we'll go ahead and knock that out real quick. Oh man, you know what? I screwed up. This windage tray has to go on before this oil pump, so we're gonna have to take that back off and then retorque it. Good thing it's not a torque to yield to where that bolt stretches. So that goes in place of that, but let me take it back off. We're gonna torque that back down, and that's gonna be it for the oil pump install on the 96 5.7 liter for Ghost. So like, comment, subscribe, man. Y'all hit that subscribe button. I got a few more. I got a few less as well. You know, hey, you know, sometimes people will go ahead and subscribe to your channel, and they may think they like your content, but then once they get to watching it, I know I'm kind of monotone, I'm kind of boring, you know, I don't have a lot of funny stories to tell, no fake stories to tell. I'm just me, man. I'm just me. I'm old school, and I'm just real, man. I don't know how any other way to put it. I don't like sugarcoating shit. Yeah, I talk a lot, but at the same time, man, you get it straight from me, and not from no one else or a fake person or anything like that. But you know, thank you to those that are still rocking with me, and thank you to those that did come and at least check out the channel. You know, hey, if it wasn't for you, it wasn't for you. I ain't mad. I ain't gonna hate. I appreciate it. I appreciate you at least stopping by and checking out Old Man. But again, man, like, comment, subscribe, man. Mexican Lee's Therapy Garage. We're out.
Mexican Lee's therapy, wrenching in the garage. Wet paint dripping smooth, call it a mirage. Gold teeth popping, boots scratch the pavement. Hood legend status, I'm Texas entertainment. Low for life, rolling deep on chrome spokes. Swinging wide in Texas, watch all the hits provoke. AC blowing clean, sunroof doing its thing. Saginaw born king with that southern swing. Props to the engine humming strong under the hood. Fresh like tortilla, smell of grease in the wood. Interior